see what else we can pick up here in Austin.
The significant attack that took place on our community over 3 weeks. An incident that has resulted in the occurrences last night where we took the suspect in this incident. And I'm going to address first the people that we have with us. We have the Honorable Governor Greg Abbott. We're also joined by Honorable Mayor Steve Adler, the City of Austin. We've got the U.S. Attorney for the Western District, Bush, District Attorney Margaret Moore, Special Agent in charge of the FBI, Christopher Combs, Special Agent in charge of the Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, Fred Milanowski. We also have the Deputy U.S. Marshal Darren Sarton and Colonel Stephen McCraw of Texas DPS, along with other members of executive teams from the law enforcement agencies. This community is well aware of the incidents that have taken place beginning on March 2nd. And, Governor, I will just let you know that as the police chief in Austin, facing the daunting task of taking on an investigation like that in our community that has never seen something like this, was made easy and possible by the assistance we got from the federal partners. We saw a level of federal participation from the ATF and the FBI that is unprecedented in this community, with over 500 agents that were focused on bringing peace back to our community. But I want to focus on a couple of the additional information that we have today based on the ongoing investigation. And again, I will say this is an ongoing investigation. We have, at this point, located a recording that the suspect in this incident made. It is about a 25-minute recording where he talks about what he has done. I would classify this as a confession. This was on a phone that we found in his possession early this morning after we had the officer involved in shooting, after he detonated that bomb that he had with him. On this recording, the suspect describes the 6 bombs that he constructed with a level of specificity that he identified the differences among those 6 bombs. We have told you all along that they all had similarities, which they did as far as specific components, but there were also differences between them. And on this recording, he identified what those differences were. I know everybody is interested in a motive and understanding why, and we are never going to be able to put a ration behind these acts. But what I can tell you, having listened to that recording, he does not at all mention anything about terrorism, nor does he mention anything about hate. But instead, it is the outcry of a very challenged young man talking about challenges in his personal life that led him to this point. Based on what we heard on the recording, he described the 6 devices, and we have recovered those 6 devices. He also described the 7th device, that being the one he had on him early this morning, that he detonated as our officers approached, causing the explosion and the ultimate officer-involved shooting that took place. We still want our community to remain vigilant, as we always should, given the day and time in which we live now. But I also want to let the community know that he described 7 explosive devices, and we have identified and are no longer in play those 7 devices. So I think it's important that we put that out and that the community be aware. We do want to remain vigilant, but we have accounted for the devices that we have known about. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to the Honorable Governor Greg Abbott for comments. Thank you.
Well, Chief, thank you very much for what you just shared, but also thank you very much for what you have done and demonstrated over the past few weeks. You know, there's a phrase that is used sometimes very casually that sometimes turns out to be very poignant. And that is, sometimes people refer to their local police officers as the finest, such as Austin's finest, when they're talking about the Austin police officers. This is demonstrative of why people say that. We saw in this situation Austin's finest, Austin's police officers galvanize and work tirelessly together over the past few weeks to solve one of the most heinous crimes that's ever existed in Austin, Texas, and in the process literally saving lives. And importantly, they did so in a way that achieved maximum response by working so collaboratively with law enforcement at every single level. This entire effort benefited tremendously by the overwhelming support that was provided to us here at the local level by the federal government at multiple areas of expertise. And of course, the state of Texas, directed by Steve McCraw in the Texas Department of Public Safety, was proud to assist in the effort also. But candidly, in my time as 12 years as Attorney General and 3 years as Governor, have not seen a better job than what we've seen from this police chief and the Austin Police Force, ensuring that they took every step they could to locate and apprehend, if possible alive, the treacherous, evil criminal who committed these acts. And I know, speaking for the chief, as well as all the members of his force, as well as the Texas Department of Public Safety, as well as everybody involved in this, there was one motivating factor to ensure that we got up every day, if in fact we ever went to sleep any night. And that was to do everything we can to live up to the magnitude of the loss that was suffered. We can never forget the victims. They include Anthony House, Draylon Mason, Esperanza Herrera, and as I have it too, yet unidentified victims. What we don't know is how many more victims there would have been had it not been for the courageous efforts of law enforcement combined. We will take away from this the importance of being able to respond quickly, but also lessons learned to make sure that heinous, inexplicable bombing actions by a crazed madman will be able to be minimized because of the way that law enforcement has been galvanized to ensure that we will keep our community safe. So, Chief, on behalf of everybody across the entire state of Texas, I want to say thank you for a job well done, for what you and your entire team has done. And today we proudly back the blue in Austin, Texas. And I'm also proud of the man who is the lead chief executive for the city of Austin, a man who has shared the effort of responding to this challenge, maintaining peace in our community, and that is Mayor Adler, who is with us here today. Mayor, I would like to toss it to you.
Governor, thank you. Our collective thoughts and prayers as a community.
All right, this is the mayor. We're going to keep monitoring this. When they ask questions, we're going to go back. But I do want to bring in former FBI agent James Fitzgerald.